You bailing, Lawrence? Sorry, you bailed.
So, you're up.
No, it's just between sessions, so I said I'd take some video.
Hello everyone, you're very welcome to the opening race of today's historic festival with the mini. With us here in suite number 2 here at
20
Mondello,
seconds, Lawrence.
and we are going to be underway for one hell of a race. We've got plenty of cars on the grid, the brand new JCW Minis, and this is going to be one hell of a race. Lights are on right now for the first event.
You guys are up.
6 red lights, and they're out, and they're off! So away we go then. Let's get our cameras here. Brian McManus leads towards into turn 1. Now we've got a penalty for somebody in the background in towards turn 1. This is of course the Mondello National Circuit. This is the circuit that is outside your window right now. In P2 we have Rob O'Neill, Ronan Hademan in P3. Then we have Lawrence de Soswa P5, final with P number 4. Damien Mullen is P6. And Dave Yamamoto is P7. Let's keep an eye on that first battle then, Brian McManus and Rob O'Neill. Of course, joining me, my name is Jack Canal and Brad O'Neill's is with me. We do a lot of the Virtual Race Academy commentary, and
Absolutely, so we've got David Yamamoto down in 7th place. He's just arrived in time to make the start of the race, so expect him to climb his way through the field, showing some good pace. Shane Rabbit there as well in 10. So good to have him back on the grid with us this weekend.
yes, keep an eye. There is Dear.
Oh, we got someone off at Mobile 1.
Yeah, I believe that's Evan Walsh, I think that is. But we've got a hell of a battle right here for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, all within a couple of tenths of each other. We've Lawrence de Soswa, Damien McMullen on the outside of turn 1, and we have David Yamamoto as well. Gets a bit wide, a car off in the background. They're now going to have to fight it out between each other. Lawrence
You would
goes
think
through.
it was wet out there today, Jack. There's some scrappy driving going on.
Yeah, there was. They're literally 3 abreast as we run down towards the middle of the circuit here. They've managed to sort themselves out a little bit. Damien Mullen looking up the inside in the background, as you can see, trying to get up that inside.
Making a move up the inside, he makes it stick.
Nicely done. Let's see if we can get the cut back here. You might be able to get the cutback line. Not quite. Damien's got that covered. And as they come do anything right there. Up to the front once again, Brian McManus clear out front. I must say 1.6 clear. Bit of a lock up right there. These are
He's run wide, didn't trouble the apex on that one.
Yeah, not at all. Rob O'Neill chasing him as well. They run ahead of him in P3. These guys are very clear out front. Just back here as well. This is Evan Walsh. He's in the battle with Adam Dowling. Shane Rabbit is a ways behind. He's decided he wants to go for the classic mini.
So we've got an imposter on the track. Shane's got himself out in the classic mini and not in the JCW Works car.
Yeah, that's
I think he might be struggling in 10th place.
Yeah.
Good lad, well done for showing up at least.
Yeah, but that will be the next race. Will be in the classic mini. So I guess he's getting a little bit of practice in.
Well, as long as he doesn't think he's going to be racing the JCW in his race, because he might win that one.
Yeah, they're actually coming up to lap him now. You'll be able to see him just in front. There he is. So Shane Rabbit getting lapped by Brian McManus in the brand new mini.
And I'm quite sure this is a shock for Brian, seeing
That is brilliant. So
contact!
I think he's made contact with Rob around. Shane Rabbit has hit Rob O'Neill as he tried to lap him, and it comes back on the circuit. He's not going to be happy. They're running ahead of him and goes through to 2nd place. What on earth has happened there? That is a new one for me. Brian McManus clear out front, running ahead of him now 2nd. Rob O'Neill is 3rd. Still got a decent gap over Damien McMullen.
Brian looking strong out front, super smooth, keeping it clean, which is what these cars are all about.
Oh,
we've had contact into Mobile 1 as Shane goes round, and he's collected by Rob, I think, what that was.
Yeah, he collected by Damien McMullen and Lawrence as well. So David Yamamoto goes through. So unfortunately, Shane has caused a bit of an accident there.
I think he's pulling off.
I think he's realised.
Hey, we'll have you up to the tower, please.
Yeah, so I think the stewards want to have a chat with Mr. Rabbit.
I think
that car is done for the day.
But oh well, Brian McMahon is about to start the last lap here. Oh! Looking over at his simulator, he's kept on going. So Brian McMahon is in VR as well, so that would give him a whole new sense of what's going on.
The beauty of these front-wheel drive cars is you can just throw the back out there, bury the throttle, and just pin it around.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these minis. Of course, we're celebrating 60 years of the mini here at the Mondello Historic Festival, so we're paying homage to that with 2 races. We're going to be in this car for the first race. We're finishing up now, and we're going to reverse the grids as well. So we're going to have a bit of fun. But Brian McManus coming through just up the hill now. We're using, of course, the National Circuit, so this is the last two corners he's coming through, but he's been clear out front and not really in trouble.
He's dominated, Jack, hasn't he? He's not been troubled by anyone.
Of course, he's in his new VRA sim here today.
Absolutely, trying out his brand new sim platform, courtesy of VRA.ie. And of course, look, if you're watching this from the bar or around the circuit and you want to get involved, come up and see us in Suite 2. Come and have a chat to us, and we'll let you know all the details of how you too can get involved in these races.
Brilliant
Dominant
drive.
victory from McManus.
Ronan Haderman will come across in second place, 4.6 behind Rob O'Neill after that interesting incident with Shane Rabbit. Comes across in P3. Damien McMullen is going to come across line in P4, and that tight little battle didn't quite end, but it looks like Lawrence de Soswa is going to come across line P5.
Just about streaks across in 5. Great to have Lawrence with us, of course, this weekend.
Yeah, he's travelled a long way to get up here, so fair play to him for coming up. And that was David Yamamoto P7, Evan Walsh is P8, and Adam Dowling P9. Shane Rabbit, I think he's still parked. No, he's still going around.
He's still going. I mean, just a little bit of style there as well.
Yeah, lovely stuff from Shane Rabbit, of course. It's been a while since we've seen him in VRA, so only he can choose the wrong car, but he's throwing that thing around.
By the way, that's not Lamar. It's the guy who just rocked in, stuck it on 6. Joel, welcome Joel into the Virtual Race Academy.
Yeah, good showing, well done.
So if anyone is interested in having a bit of fun with this, you can check us out at get yourself a sim, get onto the internet, that's really it, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Download the software and you can be on the grid with us having a bit of fun as well. So we're going to have a reverse grid now so we can see the timings there. So confirmation that Brian McManus, Ronan Hederman in second.
Yeah,
strong showing from Ronan.
Very good.
Well done, Ronan.
Yeah.
Obviously the new headphones working out, finding him some extra pace there for P2.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, no one really troubling Brian in that race.
Not really at all, no. He's really, obviously I think that might be the power of the brand new rig. The brand new, this is Ireland's first purpose-built sim racing rig made by VRA. If you want to come up and see it, feel free. As you said, you're up in Suite 2, just above the pit garages. So come check it out. They're a serious piece of kit.
Right, so just a quick reset time now as we switch the grids, and we're going to move to.
No, we're actually, I think we're doing the same. Yeah, we're doing the same ones, but we're just going to flip the grids.
So first grid.
Right,
so
ignore me then.
Lawrence on pole, Damien McMullen, Rob O'Neill, Ronan
Lawrence
Hederman.
Soswa is on pole, no pressure. He's had no testing, no practice. A lot of these boys have had a good week of practice. Brian McManus.
So yeah,
I have a feeling this mini is about to be the widest mini you've ever seen.
Yeah. So let's see how Lawrence can get on from
So Lawrence out front in that yellow mini. I think it's Ronan.
Wait till you see this.
We will see.
Yeah, I believe. So we'll see how things get on here, but it's race 2 in the JCW class.
So Shane sticking with the Austin Mini.
Yeah, we're going to see. Just to give them a run around, but it's actually good to see the difference between the
2
old
lights,
and the new.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. They're holding a long time out, and we are racing.
So away they go from the line. Lawrence gets a very good start. Following him, Sue in towards turn 1, looks to the outside line.
Someone making a move. It's looking busy.
It is.
They're going to get through Mobile 1 clean. Oh, he held it.
Hold on to it. There's a car around in the background. Not sure who it was, but it looks like he managed to keep it going. He floored the throttle with the front wheel drive. It was Adam Dowling. Adam Dowling makes it through.
Dowling had a mare there.
He's
happy with that.
Here we go. This is what the reverse grids do. Damien Mullen looking up the inside of Lawrence. And Damien Mullen makes it through the one. Look for Brian McManus. Brian's made a stunning start. Brian's made a stunning start from the back of the grid. He's come through to second place already.
VRA rig, I might add.
Yeah, obviously the rigidity of that's helping him no end. So there's
Lawrence is falling away down the field. He's back down to 6th place, but he's fighting with Joe as they come through towards the last corner. His car off there. I think that was Ronan Haderman. Ronan Haderman is off, and he's not going again, but he is off. David Yamamoto's off in the gravel, so unfortunately he's in the gravel as well as Ronan as well. Let's go to the front, because look at
into Mobile 1, but not this time.
Look, one's wide.
Damon's gone a little bit wide there. Can he defend it coming through the left-hander? He does.
Damon as well used some Mondello, he'll know all those.
So now Brian will be looking to the inside to get the cut back.
Is it Lawrence?
I think
that's Lawrence off again, is it?
It is, yeah.
So he's looking for and a great defence from Damien there at the inside. But Brian looks for the cutback. Can he make it move? It's a drag race now.
Here he
Has he got the legs? He's going to be hanging out to dry on the outside, I think.
He won't be doing it on the outside of the S.
Well, he'll break, look for the cutback line. Damien
Oh,
goes wide,
he
surges through,
And he
takes the
psyched
first
him out.
place. Brilliant driving from Brian McManus. So Damien McMullen is now still P2 and Rob O'Neill is P3. Lawrence is now P4 after that.
And Damien will be furious with himself for that one. That was a rookie error.
Yeah.
Psyched out on the brakes.
But there is as well Evan Walsh on the ground. Ronan Hedman has dropped down to P7 after his mistake. Devian Mudd is P8 after going off. Shane Roberts still going around in the classic mini. There he is. Last, technically speaking. But
I'm nailing in the pit, by the way, so obviously picked up damage.
Yeah, he looked like he's parked that car for the day.
So Brian is 1.7 clear. He loves these cars by the looks of it.
Yeah, extending his lead. A little bit of a lock up into the right-hander, but nothing that won't trouble him there.
Looks like he's looking at these new pedals as well. He's not picking up the new Hoosing Bell pedals, so that's Brian's first race out with them. Yeah, actually going very well.
Yeah, I'd say a few of the lads might be looking for those pedals as well, seeing
They're
the
not easy
advantage.
to get.
No, they are not easy to get at all. But Brian's trying to hold in with Mullen now. He just saw that gap closed about half a second. He was about 1.8, it's down to 1.5, so little mistakes. But
yeah, just a couple of little lock-ups from Brian. He's pushing hard still, but Damien's keeping him honest in this race. Rob O'Neill hanging on to them in third place, 3.6 back. And Lawrence has now got himself together, recovered himself, and is holding steady in P4. He'll be pretty cross with himself. He gave that lead away so cheaply, but he'll be looking to climb back now.
2 seconds back off Damien Mullen as well, so you can't really count him out from little mistakes.
So we had a switch there, somebody going...
That is Evan Walsh. Not sure what he's doing. But yeah, so some interesting stuff happening for Evan over there, but
Evan's having some connection issues by the looks of it. And some understeer issues as well, looking at his screen.
yeah, so we're able to see we've got a full room of simulators right here, so all these drivers are racing up here in Suite 2. So if you want to see how they get on, by all means pop up to us. But we'll keep an eye on Brian McManus coming through the last corner now to start the final lap, and on his way to take 2 from 2, which is really impressive in such a short race and come from the back of the grid.
So Jack, if we just drop back to Lawrence very quickly, let's have a look at him, because he is under attack on the final lap by our newcomer.
Yeah, let's have a quick... there he is indeed. Yeah, there he is. So that is, I believe, him fighting with... I think it's
Lawrence and...
Lawrence and Joe.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they get on. They seem to be having a decent fight there. Here we are. So right on each other as they come down.
He's going to take one mistake. Oh, Lawrence has gone wide. He's locked a little bit of brake.
So here comes Joe.
That's Evan, yeah.
So back to the battle for second, because Rob O'Neill's right with Damien Mullen as well as they were coming.
Look at this, yeah, this is getting tight now into the final corner. Is he going to make a dive bomb? Is it going to be a Headerman style dive bomb coming up here?
It is!
Oh, he's looking up, he's looking at the inside, he's taking the stewards don't want to talk to him about that line.
Meanwhile, Brian McManus has taken 2 from 2.
So McManus dominant out front. Damien holds on to P2. Brilliant try from him. Rob O'Neill right behind him in third.
And I believe Evan Walsh did take 4th with all his issues, and Joe managed to hold off Lawrence.
So Joe got past Lawrence on the last lap.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So that was a change on the last lap.
In is P8. Shane Rabbit still running around.
Still going strong.
Still going.
Shane.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a little bit of style right here.
Yeah, he's going to throw it in here.
Everyone else has gone into the classics next, and he can get into the day. So
Look at this.
Good entry. He's a good man, Shane.
He knew he chose the wrong car, but who cares? We're going to be going around in these cars next race, so we'll have. You might be good in the new ones with all their assists, but this is the original that we're going to be throwing around now. So as all the cars come in, Shane coming around to take the checkered flag, throwing it into the last corner. Fair play to him for doing that. Didn't make the finish really, but solid job from him nonetheless.
Good stuff. We'll be back in 1 second with the next Historic Classic Minis race. Can we get Mick Fallon out of the modern JCW car, please? Are you going to get kicked, Mick, if you don't leave? You're meant to be in the classic car. Thanks. So hello and welcome back to the Virtual Race Academy. This is the one we've all been waiting for. So we are at Mondello Historics this weekend, and we are running the lunchtime exhibit. So this is the first official sim race event in Ireland to mark the 60th anniversary of the Minis. I'm gonna tell lies now, 1968, keep me honest. But we're in Suite 2 in Mondello Park. It's our 1 year anniversary of being here, so we've been running these historic races for the last about 8 months now, in fairness. I'm delighted to say we have a room full of people here today who are enjoying sim racing, and this is definitely helping to put sim racing on the map in Ireland. Without me blabbering on too much more, I'd like to say a huge thanks to everyone who helped out this weekend. If I forget anyone, forgive me. I've been up all night working and partying too with the guys. So Brian McManus obviously has been out with us for every race during the season. We've got Ronan Ederman here as well. We had Marty Morwin with us last night, and we have Lawrence Dessois. I can't say your name, Lawrence Dessois.
No one knows.
As well, we've had the ever fast David Yabba. Who am I forgetting there that turned up last night? We've got Brad, who is standing here beside me doing the commentary. We have, of course, Jack Cunan, second commentator. We're throwing a huge shout out tonight, or today I should say, to Liam Bolton, who wanted to be here but couldn't be with us. And I'm just thinking, who have I forgot about last night? Of course, Rob King, Kershaw, actually everyone that's out there, huge thanks to this. So we're into qualifying. Currently, Adam Dowling. I'm gonna take a punt on this one. I think Adam Dowling is a dark horse of this race. I think so.
Well,
Ronan Hederman is fast, but look how close these times are, right? We've yet to see what McManus has put in, so
yeah, it's gonna
be down. But a huge thank you from the VRA to everyone who's hopefully watching or listening in on this. Being live broadcast down in the bar across the screens at Mondello, and if you want to get involved in this, simplest thing to do is join our group on Facebook. You just look up the chat and say, I want to get involved, how do I join this fun? It's pretty epic. Send an email to info@vra.ie. Simply visit the website vra.ie. But without further ado, because there's 1 minute 30 left of this, and by the way, that revving in the background is what? DFV? Sounds like probably DFV, yeah, it sounds like it's the Lola, is it? Yeah, it is. Yes, it's Jackie Shuffle. So you still have time to get down here for an absolutely epic afternoon of racing here at Mondello. There's going to be so many cool things out on track. Without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to the person who can actually commentate and talk, Jack Cunan, and the person who knows all the facts, figures, numbers in the race in every single thing with 4 wheels, 2 wheels, I'd say. Brad, you guys take it over.
now hello to everyone who is joining us today on YouTube in the room itself. You're very, very welcome to the Historic Festival. If you want to check on the brand new VRA simulator rig, which is the first ever custom built sim racing rig in Ireland, but right now it's actually Evan Walsh who's fastest, would you believe? So 1:06.4, very, very quick time. Ronan Hayden is second, and then we have Adam Dowling in P3 with Shane Rabbit just behind him. Damien Mullen, then we have Dave Yamamoto in P6, Lawrence Dessois down the back in P7, then Rob O'Neill, Joe's right there in P9, and Brian McManus is actually 10. I don't think he's quite still a representative lap, surely not. No, there he goes to second.
Climbing up the order, probably getting in the last minute with 17 seconds left to go in qualifying. And as Jack said, you're all very welcome to the slightly inclement weather here at Mondello Park today. It's a little bit drier and a little bit warmer here at Suite 2 for the sim races, thankfully. That's one of the benefits of virtual racing. And as you can see in our virtual races, there's beautiful blue sunshine.
Yep, but it is, I think, going to be Evan Walsh who's going to be fast.
Again on the very last lap there, finishes qualifying at a 1:05.8.
Yeah.
So a comfortable 4/10 quicker to take pole position.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Brian McManus in unfamiliar territory today, only in P2. We say only.
And
there's a big send there from Walsh.
Brilliant stuff. He's loving it. Pole position.
Yeah.
So that was for you, Brad. He says Robin Hayden P3 with a lot of smoke coming out of the car.
Yeah,
That's not good.
I think Ronan's maybe popped that one. looked a bit broken.
Yeah,
so,
but he's P3 nonetheless.
Oh, he's got it going.
Yeah, he's got it going. Now, just to put into context, we just had if you did miss it, we just had the JCW class, the new minis out, and Brian McManus took 2 from 2 wins with the reverse grid. We're going to have another race, of course, 1 normal grid and 1 reverse grid as well. So stick around, keep an eye on all the sim rigs, and make sure that you stick around for this, because it's going to be brilliant. These cars are so tricky to drive, and it'll be excellent to see how they get on.
It's actually, we had a couple of the guys up who were racing these, saying while it's different, we all get that it's never gonna actually ever be able to fully replicate a real power car going around the track. They said the lap times and the handling and the behaviour of the car, especially the gearing and stuff like that, Brad, was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sim racing now, the technology level, the algorithms that are put into these things have made a massive difference. You know, there's an awful lot of mathematics that go into the setup of these cars to make them really as truly accurate as possible.
Of course, a lot of these cars are just created by enthusiasts, you know, just modeled.
A lot of them are not even professional companies or outfits. They're doing, these are enthusiast people like ourselves, you know, sort of home coders.
Whereas iRacing, this new platform we're on, that's all licensed, and it has to be.
Absolutely.
Big brands are starting to take this so seriously at the moment that they don't want their car to be a bit crap on the grid.
The guys that are on the grid here today represent our Pro Sim racing team for VRA, who represent us in the iRacing series and across the globe through iRacing.
Yeah, the iRacing series, of course, is held every 2 weeks. Next race is on Wednesday, so if you keep an eye on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, Virtual Race Academy, keep an eye on that, because that is a very large grid and some fantastic racing. Then we also have the GTN Team Cup, which is held every other Wednesday as well, and again some excellent racing in that with the old GT2 Porsches and GT2 Ferraris. But right now we're focusing on some classic minis, which is going to, I think, going to be an excellent race.
It's going to be the best race of the day.
Right, Jack. So we're on the grid. Qualifying is done.
I'm going to put my money down. Who's your money on? I'm going to Adam Dowling. I just think he's been sneaking away in this a lot.
I think you'd be a brave man not to put your money on Brian. Although I fancy Evan Walsh for an upset.
I have spotted, however. Yeah, there's always one. There is always one that
So we're getting ready to race. 5-second board is out.
Oh, well. So here we go.
The red lights are on. The drivers are revving their engines. We're ready to go for race 1 of the Mini Classics here at Mondello, and we are racing.
So away they go towards turn 1. There's Ronan Haderman in P3, just getting jumped on the line by Adam Dowling, as you said, so he's immediately off to a good start. So Evan Walsh defending now. Looking on the outside is Brian McManus. Brian McManus took 2 from 2 wins last time. Looking around the outside at turn number 1. This is, of course, the Mondello National Circuit, which was modeled especially for us. So through turn 1, Evan Walsh trying to hold off Brian McManus. Making contact. Brilliant stuff with these old minis. This is fantastic. So Brian McManus is looking around that outside line now, trying to switch back to that inside. Evan Walsh sideways, trying to hold on to the car.
Close him up.
Brian's up the inside. Evan manages to hold him off just about. Brilliant racing so far. Adam Dowling lurking in the background, and that is Niall's tip for the win. Do not count him out. He's in a Hesketh Racing livery as well, which is
Love that livery.
brilliant. Over Joe, and you can see Brian's under pressure from Adam Dowling, as you can see right there in that Hesketh Racing Mini as they come up towards turn number 1. This is, of course, the first of 2 races. So if you're keeping an eye on the screen behind me, if you're in the room, the race is up there if you want to keep an eye on it. So Brian McManus is now P2.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, Jack, that I think Shane Rabbitt's cheeky tactic of running the Classic Mini in the race before is actually paying him dividend right now, because he's showing strongly in P5, and he's looking like he's closing a little bit on Ronan Haderman.
He is indeed. There he is in the red Mini. You can just see him there, and we'll of course keep an eye on his progress. There he is just behind, with, I believe, David Yamamoto following him. But the battle up front is where it is, because Brian McManus versus Evan Walsh versus Adam Dowling. This is going to be a brilliant one.
So Evan just got a little bit of clear distance there, and he's just pulled that gap out, so we're now looking at just over half a second. But he's made a little mistake. Brian's having a run back at him. Over P4, Ronan Haderman.
Oh, Brian getting sideways. As you can see, and now Adam Dowling's going to close in on him. You can see that gap's gone up to about a second now. as they try to find the rhythm. Only a 5-lap race, of course, and then we have another one where the grids are reversed. So that should make for some interesting viewing. Damien McMullen just making himself past, I believe that's David Yamamoto, and Shane Rabbit, as per, just getting very, very sideways, as he did in the previous race. So on to lap 3, it's still Evan Walsh from Brian McManus, now 9/10 of a second is the gap, and running pretty much a qualifying lap right there on a 1:05.6.
That's a great lap time from Evan.
Fantastic stuff. So lap 3, it's still Evan from Brian, from Adam, from Ronan, and Shane in P4. Ronan in P4, sorry, and Shane's P5.
So the ever-smooth Brian McManus has got just under 2 laps now to get the job done. He's just under a second. He's starting to close that gap a little bit now. He's back down to point 2, but then he's made a little mistake going into the entry of the right-hander there, and that's just it's pretty even right now. Brian has got it all to do if he wants to catch Evan.
Now there's Shane. He's got past Ronan Haderman, so up to P4 he goes. So I think Ronan had a little mistake
Ronan
there.
must have made a small mistake. I think he's very, very sideways coming through that left-hander.
You can see, just if you're in the room with us, you can see how tricky they are to drive. They're sideways through every single corner. But Brian P2 took 2 from 2 wins, and he's on the brand new VRA sim racing rig built for us here, and is the first ever purpose-built sim racing rig in Ireland. So have a look at it. It's a beautiful piece of kit. Brian took 2 from 2, and now unfortunately he's following Evan. But they're pumping in 1:05s, which is so quick.
Another fastest lap there. So that was Brian's fastest lap of the race. Also, David Yamamoto's fastest lap, just on the last lap there for him. He's still stuck in P7, chasing down Damien McMullen. So that's a pretty close battle there. There's about half a second between those two.
Yeah, there they are. So Damien McMullen and David Yamamoto, as he said. Yeah, he certainly can. He's only got one more lap to do it though. We're only running the national circuit, not the international. You can see just completely
sideways slide there from McMullen.
Yeah, and trying to get it all sorted out. Of course, the beauty of the front wheel drive, you just plant and go, and it will. But these, I had to go on these cars earlier, and they're just so tricky to drive because they're brilliant, but they're really difficult to drive. But you can see these guys are loving it.
And look at what's happening out front, Jack. Evan Walsh has just stamped his authority on this race. He said, "Sorry, Brian, not today.
Not today.
Today is my day." Stretching that lead out to 1.7 seconds for the final lap, and a great lap time. Look at that, 1:05.7.
Yeah.
So full half a second quicker than McManus in P2.
Adam Dowling, by the way, 1:05.8.
So yeah, is Brian going to be in threat now for P2?
We're on the final lap now, so it's not out of the question if Brian makes a mistake somewhere. It is, of course, very easy to make a mistake on the circuit. It's deceivingly tricky, this little national circuit, especially this corner right here. And he's back. Oh, he's about he managed to get it back again.
He rolls it.
Brilliant stuff from Brian on that brand new rig. Now he's lost a chunk of time with it. And points for style. Points for style for Brian right there.
How did he keep that upright?
Evan Walsh winning.
Evan Walsh is
clear.
Here we go.
He's
about to come through the last corner.
Everything we've ever said about him, we take it all back.
Take it back, Evan.
He's won many awards for many different things.
Sent it into the final style. Evan Walsh onto the final straight. Comes across
the line on similar rig number 1.
Evan takes first blood.
And now Adam Dowling's got Brian. He's off in the last corner. Brian parked it. Adam Dowling. Shane Rabbit comes through the P3 in that mini.
Shane makes a cheeky podium in the first race here of the Classic Minis in VRA Mondello. Brian McManus, what happened?
Oh my lord.
I told you, all we needed to do was just criticise Evan enough.
I believe we're going to have a reverse.
This is it.
This is it, unfortunately.
Officially, the first ever historic sim racing event was won
by
Evan Walsh. Well, Evan.
So brilliant stuff. So we are up here in suite number 2 here at Mondello. So if you want to come up and see the rigs, come and have a go.
Oh, this is it. This is going to be the big one.
Brian, you're classified P8, so you're not pole. It didn't work.
Well.
So was that tactical, possibly?
That could have been tactical. Was Brian parking it up?
Bring him up to the tower there,
Was Brian parking it up
Did
to
you
try
pull
and
over?
get pole for the second race reverse grid? Sadly, it didn't work for him.
Yeah, but we're now going to have the fun one, which is where we reverse the grids. So Evan is going to be starting down the back of the grid this time. So he's got to now make his way up through the grid to try and get that win. But I don't know who's going to be pole this time. I didn't check.
Well,
it could be Brian actually, because he pulled over the side.
Grid race.
Biggs.
So the stewards will definitely be talking to him about that. We may have to put some ballast in the car.
I saw Evan coming across there to congratulate Brian for the battle they had earlier on. It was brilliant to watch, so well done to the two of them.
We're all having a bit of fun and banter about this. Of course, we do actually have race control, and we do have incidents, and we take this racing very serious, so that actually will be looked into, investigated.
Everything you see and would experience as a normal full race weekend with race directors, with race control, with stewards and incidences, we operate in exactly the same way, and we deal with everything in exactly the same way, so that it allows all the drivers to come and enjoy their racing and have a fair race. And we want to
Brian's down the back of the grid. Oh, he's in the pit lane. He's retired accidentally.
So Brian's had a problem, and he was on pole, but his tactic hasn't worked. He's going to be starting from the back in the pit lane.
But still don't count him out. He's still very
drama
quick.
jack right here in race 2 on this reverse.
By the looks of it.
Race control put you in the pits.
Absolutely. There's race control dishing out.
So this is it. Who is going to take? Who is going to take the honours here? Could Evan do 2 for 2? I think honestly take Evan Walsh.
My money's going to be on Adam for this race.
Adam,
He's just starting. You can just see the
So the 5-second board is out. The lights
I'm
are
going to
on.
call it Shane Rabbit.
Well, keep an eye out
6
for
red lights. They build up the revs. Lights are out, and we are racing again for race 2. Great start from Yamamoto.
So Yamamoto leads in towards turn 1. In behind him, I believe, is Damien McMullen, and up the inside comes immediately. I believe, is that Ronan Hedeman coming through?
Ronan Hedeman who's picked up.
Oh, we got it upside down! We've got the car upside down in the back. Is that Damien McMullen? He's rolled it. Oh, that car is in bits.
Look at the state of that. The front axle is gone. The bumper's on the floor.
Yeah, well, Davey Yamamoto back to P2, but Roland Haderman leads in the second reverse grid race.
That was quite brilliant. He watched the melee in front of him. He was in P3. He watched Adam Dowling send it up the inside.
Here comes Shane Rabbit. Davey Yamamoto, and through goes Adam Dowling to P2. Shane Rabbit now battling with him. There's more contact in the background as they're trying to sort themselves out.
Oh, Jack, what is going on
here? This is absolute madness. This is what reverse grids does to race. 3 abreast as they come through towards the last corner. Rob O'Neill, Brian McManus, and I believe that's Lawrence de Sosway in the back as well.
Yeah.
So Rob O'Neill trying to get himself past Brian McManus. Brian comes through all that melee. They sort themselves out. Good bit of driving from them all, but neck and neck they go now. Lawrence trying to make his way past Rob O'Neill up the inside. Not going to quite have the legs in that one, but that was a crazy start. Rob O'Neill, Ronan Haderman was out in the front by 3 seconds. Brilliant.
Well, nobody saw this coming. Ronan did that beautifully that first lap, and he's capitalised completely through that. He's showing strong in the first race.
Here comes Evan Walsh. Sorry to interrupt. Evan Walsh, we didn't count him out. He's up to P3, up the inside of Shane Rabbit. And Adam Dowling completely sideways. Evan Walsh completely sideways. Shane Rabbit completely sideways.
Evan Walsh driving like a man possessed. Where did this come from?
Sell those Civics, Evan. Buy a Mini.
And here he comes, he's backing it into that corner. Look at the sideways action, brilliant stuff.
A beautiful thing to watch. Now, can he do 2 for 2?
Shane Rabbit was off in the background. Here comes Brian McManus.
Shane's just put himself right in the grasp of Brian.
Oh, look at that.
Brian's using every ounce of track on the curb, on some grass as well, but he's not going to get to it the inside. Shane breaks himself. Brian then tucks it back up the inside, gets the undercut, and he is off up into P4.
Well, now it's sorted themselves out. So that's a car in the pit lane. Actually, I think Shane's come in, or is that Damien McMullen? Excuse me, that who's down the back there.
Yeah.
2 laps to go. I'm calling this now, Brad. Jack. I'm saying we got.
If you're here with us in the room, the race is up on the big screen if you want to keep an eye on all the action, as well as Adam Dowling and Evan Walsh are about to go neck and neck for second
Dowling's
place.
closed the gap just a little bit. It's under 3 seconds now, but he's massively under pressure. Hugely under pressure from Evan Walsh, who's just crawling all over the back of that Hesketh liveried Mini.
It's cool looking, isn't it?
It is a great livery. Of course, we had the Hesketh here last year in the Historic Festival. Great car, of course. Now, Evan Walsh all over the curbs trying to get on the back of Adam Dowling as they run through up towards the last corner here. brilliant racing so far. Out front, Haydenman's made a mistake as well. So now this is the battle for the lead now. Adam, that is Evan Walsh trying to come around the outside. Watch for the cutback line. Haydenman's wide. There's now only two laps
on the drag.
Oh, look at this! Just about enough space given.
Adam Dowling runs him right out to the edge of the circuit, but he makes it stick.
So here they come towards turn 1.
He's on the outside.
He's on the outside towards turn 1 here. Mondello trying to outbrake Adam Dowling up the inside now. Should be able to make it stick. And look at Ronan Haydenman's going to hold on. Evan Walsh from the outside this time. I think he's made a work this time. Great move.
He's taken 2 for 2.
This is absolutely brilliant. What we're witnessing right now. A lap and a half left to go. Nobody knows who's going to win this race. Side comes Evan Walsh trying to get past right here.
He has to take evasive action there as Haydenman launched it into the right-hander sideways on the gas.
Here comes Adam Dowling up the inside as well. Up the banging doors. Here he comes up the inside of Ronan Haydenman as well.
Oh, they touch, but Haydenman holds on. But Dowling came out of nowhere from there.
Evan Walsh. 3 abreast as they're on.
Again, Evan. Ronan Haydenman is up on the grass.
Adam Dowling is through. Evan Walsh now on the outside trying to get
Dowling now leads.
Don't count Evan Walsh around the outside for the lead. We're about to go to the last lap.
Haydenman's lived up to his name. He's dive bombed again. He's took them all out.
McManus is now leading this race. He started from the pit lane and he
from ear to ear right now. He's just watched the 3 of the title contenders take themselves
They're
out.
still fighting in the back right here.
Evan Walsh now in the head of this pack. Dowling and Ronan Haydenman has dropped that from 1st to 4th. And really, to be honest, I mean...
Again! Oh no, they made even more contact.
Wow! I mean, these 3 have given us great entertainment, but they've totally destroyed their own races.
There's now 5 cars fighting for 2nd place. Shane Rabbit's up the inside of the wall.
Where did Shane come from?
Oh, O'Neill around the outside of a lot of them. Is he going to get 2nd?
Oh,
What a move!
around the outside, that's the move of the day.
Shane Rabbit is 2nd now. Oh my lord!
And Joe, we have got a podium completely flipped on its head now.
Oh my god!
With a 10-second lead in 1 lap. He is laughing from ear to ear. He can't believe his luck. Where did that come from?
Brian McManus from the pit lane. Round of applause for Brian McManus from the pit lane. Win race 2.
We're waiting for him. No! O'Neill's gone! O'Neill's got him! Robert O'Neill takes it over the corner! Oh, and he's over! The wheels are off the car!
Rob O'Neill's 2nd, Evan Walsh is 3rd.
Haydenman's destroyed the car!
Shane Rabbit is 4th, Adam Dowling is 5th. David Yamamoto P6. Haydenman rolled the car in the last corner. Absolutely brilliant.
I need to lie down after that.
I need to lie down.
Beer or something after that.
Lads.
What a race.
That is
crazy action here.
Hands down, the greatest VRA race of all time. Right there.
I would just like to say that Brian McManus was driving the new VRA race again.
It's all a big advertisement.
Anyway, yeah, look, you've witnessed something spectacular here from VRA and live at Mondello for the classic mini race, celebrating 60 years of the minis.
And the first ever official sim race on the Mondello.
The first ever broadcast official sim race here at Mondello. So thank you everyone for joining us. We're delighted to have
one
you.
big last shout out.
We'll be here all day and come and have a go, come and see what it's all about, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. But for now, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.
Thank you and good night.